The protagonist of the science fiction classic manga Ghost in the Shell, Motoko Kusanagi, has been present in all of the adaptations of the comic, and in every one of them she has been portrayed as a wholly different character, depending on what it is needed for that adaptation. From a calm, quiet character that is disassociating from her own body, to a strict yet melancholic leader, or even a brash soldier with something to prove. There are as many Motokos as there are adaptations of the source material. By comparing and contrasting the original manga character to the adaptations, we can get a better understanding of the nature of that adaptation. The 1995 movie adaptation of the work, Mamoru Oshii radically changed Major Motoko Kusanagi by stripping her down to one core essential aspect of her character, removing all the elements from her that he did not need for the story he planned to tell, and turning the bright and extroverted Motoko from the comic into a dark, cold introvert that talked slowly and robotic, who gave off a feeling of alienation from humanity itself. Oshii's Motoko, like the movie he directed, takes the core of the manga, the theme of transhumanism, and strips away everything else. And what he does keep from the source material that is not about that core message, he rewrites in such a way that now it takes a whole new meaning. Take the scene where Motoko tries to force her way into a spider tank's cockpit. Oshii uses this moment to show just how detached the Major is towards her own body, where she's ready to push it to the point where it starts falling apart. It's a disturbing scene that showcases where her headspace is right now, in order to make the viewer understand better why she would accept the Puppet Master's proposal that they should fuse into a new type of being. In contrast, the scene in the manga has a completely different purpose. What's more, the anime constructed it using a composite of two different scenes. First is the battle with the spider tank that was not part of the Puppet Master plotline in the original. In fact, the scene is more about her grit and determination in the face of a direct threat to her life, because in the original, the pilot of the tank harbored a deep and personal grudge against her. The second scene, the actual moment where she forces her way into the cockpit of a large multi-leg armored vehicle, was in volume 1.5, after she already merged with the Puppet Master, and the reason she cares very little about her own body is because the thing that is breaching the mech isn't her body, but a robot she's remotely piloting, and she does this knowing full well that this will destroy this shell she is using. And, on top of all that, she has a plan of what to do after she slightly opens the hatch, and that is to send in an insect drone that will help her hack the mind of the pilot. The scene here conveys something different about Motoko, how crafty she is and how she has changed after leaving Section 9. It also helps showcase her new tools as a free agent, and that she is becoming more machine than human. Another scene is the moment between Togasa and the Major in the van on their way to investigate the garbage truck driver. In the original, we get a lot more of her sass and her wit as she chews him out for his preferences in firearms. The point here isn't just to introduce the fictional firearms, but to showcase the gap between Togasa, the ex-cop, and rookie to her team, with her, the seasoned veteran, by having her teach him how he should do his job, something that comes up later when they try and arrest a man behind the hacking of a minister's translator. Togasa keeps trying to shoot him with lethal force, and she keeps telling him to go for non-lethal shots and methods, going so far at the end to hack into Togasa as he was lining up a shot, forcing him to shoot the suspect in the shoulder, all while the hacker was pointing a gun at her and a crowd of people, showcasing her calm, level-headedness during an intense firefight. In the movie adaptation, the scene in the car is reframed to be more about why Togasa is in Section 9, so that the film can put forward the idea that, just like in evolution, the organization they work for needs new perspectives in order to not over-specialize and breed in weakness. The dressing down of his choice of firearms is also played down and reframed as him just being a more sentimental person. And the capture of the hacker is changed completely. Togasa is removed from the scene in favor of Batou, who in the movie has become a foil for Motoko. While they are both cyborgs, he is far more attached to his humanity. He is here to provide the antithesis of her position in all things. He runs in and shoots at the suspect in the marketplace, while she camps and waits for him to come into her line of fire. After she apprehends him, in the scene at the water channel that was added by Oshii, the Major lingers in a state of partial undress for an uncomfortable amount of time, and Batou is the one to cover her up, showing the audience her detachment to her own physical body and how he seems to care more about her personhood than she does herself. All of this is in the service of the story that's being told. Oshii hyperfixates on the notion of transhumanism and makes the whole anime adaptation about that, bending, changing, and creating new scenes for that message. While the comics author, Masamune Shiro, is juggling more things at once. He is world building and setting things up for later. When Motoko stopped Togasa from killing the hacker in the market, it wasn't just to show her expertise in hacking. It was to establish the leitmotif of dead men tell no tales. That would come up again 2 more times, in order to show that when experts like Motoko kill people they had to bring in alive, it's either because they truly hate that person, like how Batou did in Chapter 7, or a sign that they are breaking down mentally, like in Chapter 9, when she kills a suspect they had to arrest. But both versions of the same character work very well in their respective works that were made with them in mind. This is the paradox of adapting a story. You have to change the story, the characters, the mood. Essentially, anything can be on the chopping block, but only in the service of something. Like in this case, in order to present one aspect of the original through the eyes of the person adapting the work. Because Oshii's Ghost in the Shell sees things vastly different than the manga, where the original is hopeful for the future. The movie is skeptical, if not downright pessimistic and afraid. Thank you for watching, and consider liking and subscribing.